Okay. I'll wait till everybody joins me and then see if I'm right before I start taking thingy. Change that aircon to cool. Oh, hiya, Grace. Can you, if I sit up here, Grace, can you see me? Am I okay? Can you see me? I'm in this position is okay? Can you hear me? Grace, can you let me know if you can see me when I'm sitting on the chair? So that I'm in the right position, and then I'll get started at 10 o'clock. I'm just seeing if anybody else is joining. And then I'll start. I'm recording on 2 because I don't know how, I lost how I was supposed to put that one on. How's your mum? It just put me under and went away. I'm just waiting in case anyone else wants to join. Maybe next week people will get used to it a bit more. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to press record. Lovely. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to get started for our chair yoga session. Now, what you need you need to make sure that your chair is a stable chair and that it's on a non-slip surface. So you don't want it on a floor where it can move. Make sure that it's on a mat, a rug, carpet, anything that it doesn't move. And that you've got enough room to the side and the back. If you move the chair forward, you can move out and backwards. And I'll move to the side. So make sure that the chair is movable and that you can get around it just in case. I may just stay seated today, it depends. So also what you'll need is a sock, 1 or 2, it's up to you, and they'll become more as we go on, you'll understand why. A block also, if your feet don't touch the floor, so if your feet are kind of up here when you're sitting to the back of the chair, then you may need a block or something just to raise your feet so that your feet sit on the floor because you want them to be down. Or you can move from the back of your chair, so instead of sitting right through to the back, I'll turn my chair again. So instead of sitting right at the back of the chair, then you may need to move to the front of the chair a little, but you want to make sure that you keep everything nice and straight. I'll turn my chair back round this way. If you are completely seated so that you can't stand up, then you may find that having some balls, like if you've got a golf ball or you've got a squidgy ball, these will come in handy for doing some hand exercises if you can't do the standing ones. They come in really nice for foot ones as well. Now, with this, we're going to start off sitting down, keeping our back nice and straight. So again, making sure the feet are down. You don't want the back to squudge. You want to make sure that you're lifting up nice and straight. If you want, place your hands on your lap. And again, if you use your fist between your knees, that'll bring your knees into the right so that they're in the right length for your hips. Make sure that they're not going to sag out and make sure they don't sag in so that they stay in line the whole time. Okay? With our toes, we want to lift our toes and try and push down, even though we're sitting down, into the outsides of our feet, so that we're trying to lift the bridge of our foot up so that it keeps it there. Also, if you lift your toes, try thinking about squeezing this muscle at the top of your leg. So as you lift up really hard, it'll feel like it's pulling back, but we'll work on that if we stand up. Squeeze your inner thighs together, but don't let them move. And then you should feel it through the outside of your thighs as well. Bring your shoulders back and down. Now we're going to breathe into the nose. The nose has got lots of hairs in there and they catch hold, hi everyone, they catch hold of all the pollen, any dust in the air, and make sure that we're clearing the air as much as we can, filtering the air as much as we can as it goes in. It also warms and it also moistens the air as it goes into the lungs. Dry, cold air is really bad for our lungs. If you have to, you can breathe out through your mouth. That is fine. But if you can, try to breathe in, especially through the nose. So we're just breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose if you can. Now we'll get more to the mechanics of breathing probably in a little bit, but I just want you to make sure that you're breathing in through the nose. That's all that matters at the moment. We'll work on the depth of the lung in a bit. So from here, we're just going to work on this neck to stretch it, but especially if you're older, you may find that you've got neck problems. So we're going to just adjust the neck a little bit more. I'm going to turn to the sides. Now with our neck, we want to push the chin out and bring it down, and then we're going to lift it all the way back up again. So we're pushing it out, we're bringing it down, we're rolling it up. And with this, you'll start to feel all the stretches right through the back, right through the shoulders. Okay, so that should start to feel that neck starting to move around a little bit. Who have I got? Hiya, Ames. So, from here, we're going to take our head back. And again, if you've got neck problems, slip disc or anything like that, we're going to support the head. So again, I'm going to the side. You're going to use the hands, and you're not lifting the head up. You're just moving the chin slightly forward and letting the eyes lift up. And this will just protect that neck. And then we're going to bring it back down again. So everything that we do, we're just trying to make sure that we keep hold of our neck. We don't let it go too much. This area is one of the most vulnerable parts of our body. If you turn your head too quickly, you can find that you'll pull a muscle in the neck, and then sleeping well doesn't help as well. So again, we're going to just bring our chin, our ear towards the side of our head, and we're just going to nod our head side to side. And with this, you'll feel the kind of movement through the shoulders. And we're bringing it back to centre. And we're just going to turn and look over our shoulder. Trying to keep the chin parallel, so we don't want it to drop or lift. We just want to try and keep it as parallel as possible. And just moving our head as if we were saying no. And you may find one side feels a bit tighter than the other, and that tends to be because we only tend to look over one shoulder, especially if you're a driver. And we're bringing it back to centre. So now we're going to bring some stretch movements into the shoulders. I'm just going to get you to breathe in and lift your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, just let the shoulders drop down. So breathing in and breathing out. And 2 more of these. Good. So let's move these shoulders round. So we're going to bring our shoulders forward. So again, if I go sideways, you're just going to bring the shoulders forward. So try and just round the shoulders as much as you can. Then you're bringing them up towards your ears. Then you're trying to bring the shoulder blades together, so you're rolling back. And then you're pulling the shoulder blades down. We're rolling them forward. We're lifting them up. We're pulling the shoulder blades together. And then we're pulling them down. So forward and up and back and down. And let's do one more. Forward and up and back and down. Lovely. So we obviously have to go in the opposite direction. It's the rules. So from here we're going to pull the shoulder blades back towards each other. We're going to lift them up towards our ears. We're going to roll them forward so that the shoulder blades are coming together at the front, and we're going to bring them down. So we're taking them back and lifting them up and bringing them forward and bringing them down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift them up, roll them forward, bring them down. Last one. Bring it back Lovely. Bringing it down. So, let's bring it into our wrists and our shoulders. We're bring our hands and bring them onto our shoulder blades if we can, and bring our elbows to touch. Now again, it doesn't matter if you can't get them to touch, just bringing them towards each other. We're lifting them up and we're bringing it round in a circle. So we've done the shoulder blades, now we're getting into them arms. We're bringing it round. Breathe in as you're lifting the arms up. Breathe in as they're coming down. Let's do 2 more. And bring it down. So again, whenever we go one way, we have to go the other. So we're bringing them back, lifting them up, bringing them around to the front. If they can touch the front, again, it doesn't matter, bring them down. Take them back, lift them up, bring them round to the front, bring them down. Breathing in and breathing out. And then bring it down. So, we're bringing it into our wrists. We're going to bring our fingers together, but you're putting your thumbs on the inside and bringing your fingers to close and bringing the hands together. If you can, keep the arms up nice and straight, but if you find that your shoulders start to come up, then you can drop the arms down and have them resting down here. But if you do that, you'll feel it working these areas here. But it's up to you, whichever feels better. So from there, you're going to keep the fingers touching, but you're going to roll them in towards you. So now we're going to take it in the opposite direction. So you're going to roll them away from you. And then bring them down. So as you're doing that, what you'll find is that you start working them shoulder muscles, you'll feel it here, but at the same time you're just starting to mobilise through the wrist. So now we're going to bring it into our fingers. You're going to start with your thumb, pinch your thumb, and this encourages blood to come towards the thumb. So if you've got circulation problems, it's great for that. You're going to let your hand drop down so that your hand is a bit of a weight, and you're just going to give your thumb a little circle, about 5 circles in one direction and 5 circles in the other. Then we're going to take it and move it to our next finger. So again, pinching, let the hand drop, and then circling. What it's doing is it's starting, using just your own body weight, you're letting the hand drop, and gravity will start to work on into the middle of your fingers, the joints. So it helps to open them up. But at the same time, like I said, you're encouraging blood flow towards the fingers by pinching, acupressure. So we're taking it along, moving along our fingers. So letting the hand drop and just giving a circle in one direction and then a circle in the other. These are great, like I said, for anybody that's working at computers, for anyone that uses the phones an awful lot with tapping your fingers. Especially the little finger doesn't get used very much. So bringing it down. So we'll take it to the other hand. So again, pinching, let the finger drop, let it circulate. And have a look. Who's joining me? I don't need to be up on the chair. You can stay in your chair. Hiya, Maureen. Lovely to see ya. I don't know how to make you go live with me. Sent you a request to be in your live video. That means I'll put you at the bottom somewhere, Maureen, I think. I mean, you can if you want. But I don't think that's probably what you want. But thank you for coming. Hiya, Kelly. So, Now we've done our fingers. Sorry about my nostrils a bit, I've got big nostrils. We're going to stretch the palms of the fingers. So from here, except for the thumb, you're going to grab all the rest of the fingers, hand the hand out, and just pull the fingers backwards, and you'll feel it's a lovely stretch right through the palm of the hand. Plus you'll also feel it through your wrist as well. Then we're going to take the fingers down, again, everything but the thumb. Give them a little pull towards you. So you're doing it that way. Again, for carpal tunnel, this is a great stretch. And then bring it down. So let's do the other hand. So again, everything but the thumb. Grab the fingers, give them a little pull back. So you're getting everything, including the little finger. And then we're going to take them down and pull them in the opposite direction. And bring it down. So we'll keep it in our fingers, get them working a little bit more. So with this, what you're trying to do is you're trying to touch each finger, but then you're jumping twice on that one. Bringing it down, touching, coming back. And this is just helping with agility. You can do one at a time or do both together. Completely up to you. You can watch while you're doing it, or try not to. I was just watching then and I even made a mistake then while watching. And then bringing it down. So again, another one for our fingers is if we try to touch our fingers towards our palm. And with it, you'll start to feel muscles through the wrists. And into the fingers. And then just give your hands a little shake. So, we're working our way down. Let's bring ourselves now into our chest. So we're going to do the seated cat and cow. You're going to, placing your hands on your leg, you're going to tilt your pelvis. So I'll turn this way. From here, you're tilting your pelvis under and you're pulling your shoulders in, breathing out and pulling your belly back, tucking your head in. As you breathe in, you're going to tilt your pelvis back, push your chest out, pull your shoulders back, look up. Breathe out, rolling in, and breathe in, rolling out. So just be aware of how your neck feels, how your back feels as you're doing this. This again, it's a great one because it's opening the chest, working on the stomach muscles, and then taking it in the opposite direction, opening the spine, the shoulder blades, giving that lower back a nice little stretch. And we'll do 2 more. And our last one. And then we're going to bring ourselves back to our centre. Lovely. So, from here we're going to go into a forward bend. Now again, if you've got blood pressure problems, you're not going to take your head down. You're going to keep your head looking forward so that your head and your heart is always in the same position. And you're keeping your hands here. If you haven't got blood pressure problems, you can let your hands and your head drop. But always bring your head back up. Don't just come whoop, straight back up like this. Okay, so make sure that you come up nice and slowly. If at any time you feel a bit sick, a bit dizzy, then don't go down. Okay, so from here, we're going to breathe out and we're going to move forward. So I'm keeping my head up, and then we're breathing in to lift back up. I'm going to do it from the side. Breathing out, pull your belly in, come forward, and breathing in, lifting back up. Now, as you go forward, if you find yourself starting to curl, then stop where you are and try and keep your back nice and straight, chin tucked in. And you're just moving here to here. It doesn't have to be very far, but you don't want the back to curl. You want this bit to stay pushing forward. Okay? So we'll do 2 more of these. Breathing out. And breathing in. And our last one. Lovely. So, we've got to now work through the sides. So with this, we're keeping our one hand down. So we keep our left hand down and lift our right hand up. Keeping our bum on the floor, we're going to reach over and breathe out. Now, if you find that your shoulder won't go up, it doesn't feel right, keep the hand down by the side and just lean over to the side. Try not to lean forward. Make sure that the body's coming back and then bringing it back up again. So I'll keep my hand down for the first one. So hand reaching down, shoulders pulling back, chin tucked in. Breathe out, reach over to the side. And breathe in, come back up. So, like I said, it's up to you. See how your shoulders feel. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. So turning the palm out so the thumb's going backwards. That'll help to bring the shoulder round. Breathe in, lift up if you can. Again, if you've got blood pressure problems, you might find you want to keep it down as well. Breathe out, reach over. And then breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, bring that arm down. Okay, we're going to try 2 more on each side. Now eventually I will get to telling you to breathe in to lungs at different parts. But I may do just a breathing one, and that I'll put up on Instagram and Facebook. I'll just record that and put it up so that people can sit down and do some breathing. And then may do sort of 15 minutes of breathing as well. If people want me to, just let me know. Got nothing else to do, we're all stuck at home. And we're bringing our right hand down to the thing. Sorry if I lost anybody there. I forgot to turn my phone to off. And so I was getting a phone call. Shoulders down, breathe out, look. And we're going to change sides. So we're bringing our right hand over. The left hand goes to the floor. Push. So sorry about that. That was my mum's nurse to go and do her thing. I just lost that one. So I'll have to put the 2 videos up together. Where were we? Sorry, really sorry. I will put my phone to silent next time I'm doing this. But like I said, yeah, we have to just go with it. Yes, we were doing twists. So, other side. Bring your left hand now to your right side of your leg. Again, using that push. The hand down at the bottom. Hold the body up nice and straight and just turn and have a look to the side. Hold it for about 3 breaths. So this is working all the stomach muscles. You'll feel it pulling through that lower back. And then we're bringing it back to centre. So we're going to do one more again. Taking the hand to the side of the leg, push the leg out, push with the arm so the leg stays in the right place. Nice straight back. Breathe out, have a look over the back. and bring it back to centre. So we're starting to work through here. We're taking it down to our waist. We're going to kind of wind the waist around. So again, if you've got back problems, again, just see how you feel, but it shouldn't make any difference because we're not putting no pressure on it. If you bring your hands to the front, you're going to lean forward. Then you're going to move round and then curl round to the back and bring yourself back to the centre. I'll do it from the side as well. So from here, you're leaning forward, you're curling round, all the way round, and then back again. So we're kind of, instead of keeping that spine nice and straight, we're curling it out and not going round. So we're going to do 5 in one direction, 5 in the other. So we're leaning forward, we're going out, we're curling the back round, and we're coming back to the front. Going all the way round and back to the front. You do it from this side, forward all the way round and back to the front. And from here we're going to then take it in the opposite direction, so out and round and back again. Up and round and back. And with this, it's starting to work the waist, but you'll also feel it pulling into your bum muscle as well. So it's where we kind of sit on and work from there. We're getting further and further down our body. And our last one. Bring it back so that you're leaning forward and then bring yourself back up to sitting. Now, we're going down into our pelvic floor and our abdominal lock. Now this, I know there's a few people who've come to my seated yoga class, Maureen, you'll know about this, and this is quite fun. Now, with doing it, you're sitting in the chair, you're not going to move, but you're working your internal stomach muscles. And to me, I always say it's equivalent to doing sit-ups, but you don't have to move. But it's doing the same thing, it's working internally, and it's one of the best things that we can do for our stomach muscles, but also for our bowel, our bladder, and for men for a prostate. And they always sort of give it to women and tell women to do it, and they never tell men. Yet it's the same muscle. The prostate muscle sits in front and holds it nice and tight and holds the prostate glands where they're supposed to be. If they get weak, they release, and that's why we get, like women, we dribble, men dribble. So it's always good to be able to do the pelvic floor. So this is the only way that I can describe it. Imagine at the back that you're in a lift and you're about to break wind and you want to pull that muscle in. Now, it's not, I'm going to stand up, watch my bum. It's not squeezing of your bum muscle. That stays nice and relaxed. You're getting inside the bum muscle and there's a little sphincter, and it's that's pulling in and squeezing. So you're holding that, then, and you can do that on a breath out. If you breathe out and try and pull it up, it's much easier to do it. Then at the front, you imagine that you want to have a wee, but you've got to stop yourself from having a wee. And again, do it on a breath out. You'll find it's a lot easier to pull it up. So you've got the back and the front, and you're still holding that. Now you've got this muscle here, this abdominal. I'm coming forward a little. So with it, you'll find that here, as you breathe out, you want to pull that muscle backwards. And it's the same thing as if you cough, you'll feel it get tighter. It's the same thing, you're pulling that muscle backwards, but you're doing it as opposed to when you cough. So, you've got the lift, you've got the wee, you've got the abdominal pulling in. Now you want to make sure that you can breathe. Now most people only breathe into the middle section of our lungs anyway. So I want you to make sure that you're breathing the whole time. But we're going to try and hold this for 10 seconds. And we're going to hold it for 5 times. So I'm going to count, so it's a bit boring if you're just sitting there, but I want you to actually do it. Even if you're just thinking, oh, I'm not really going to do this, I'm just watching the video to see what Mari's up to. Then just try it, because it doesn't hurt. So, from here, imagine you're in the lift and suck it in. Imagine that you want to stop yourself having a wee. Now, brace that belly, pull that stomach muscle back, breathe out. Now hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. So we're going to do it again. We're going to pull at the back, pull at the front, brace that stomach muscle, pull it in, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. 3 more. In at the back, in at the front, pull that belly in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. And we're going again. Pull at the back, at the front, pull your stomach muscles in. And make sure you're breathing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. And our last one. So pull at the back, pull at the front, pull at the stomach muscles, shoulders back and down. Pull it in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Think about them areas pulling up like a lift, some people prefer to think of it, or zip and hollow. Depends if you do Pilates. You'll have heard that a few times. Again, I started talking, forgot to count. So I'd say that's 10. So we can have a nice relax. Now, we're bringing it down a little bit further. So with this, we're going to go into a tree. If, however, you find you can't get your knee to come up onto your hip, then all I want you to do is turn your foot onto the side. So if we come forward to the edge of your chair a little, turn the foot down. We will bring it up, but I'll keep it down for now. But I know, again, if Maureen's there, she may know how to do it and want to bring the leg up. But otherwise, if you've never done it before, you're just having your foot to the side and just letting your knee drop out to the side. So this is starting to work here, but you'll also feel it into that hip. And then we're bringing it up. We're going to do the other side. So again, turning it so that the little toes on the floor and just letting the knee drop out. So this is kind of a tree pose, but we're sitting down. And like I said, the next time if you know how to do it, you can put the foot up onto the knee and drop it back. Otherwise, keep it on the floor. When we're at the thing, I tend to give you a chair to put your foot on. But otherwise, you'll be searching your house looking for extra chairs. And we're bringing it back up. So that's working. We'll do one more on each side. So you're taking it down. We're going to bring the hands together, shoulders back, and breathe out and lean forward. Now, even this, so if I do it this side, squeezing that stomach in, leaning forward. Even doing this, moving, you'll feel it push a little bit more into that hip and into that knee. And then we're bringing it back up. And then we're going to try the other side. So turning it over, shoulders back, pull your stomach in, bring your hands together, lean forward slightly. And then bringing it back up. Lovely. So let's working outside of these thighs. You're going to bring your feet over the top of each other so that your ankles are together, and you're going to squash your ankles together. So you're going to push the left one up, the right one down, or whichever way you've got your feet. So you're squeezing, 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 and you'll feel this through the back of the legs here, through the side of the legs. And then let's change it one more time. So squeezing them legs together so that you're feeling it work through the ankles, through the knees, and through the sides of the body. And let's change in sides. A great idea to sit in my conservatory. It's like a sauna today. And bring it down. Lovely. I'm just going to grab a drink of water before I pass out. So let's bring ourselves to the edge of our seats, and we're just going to work on our toes here. If you can, reach down and try and pull your toes out so that you're stretching them apart, and then you're going to try and push your heel forward. Again, I'll do it sideways so it might make it easy to see. Stretching the toes out, and you're pushing the foot forward so that you can feel the muscles, or the ligaments I should say, from under here starting to push forward. Pull that down. Not need to see my belly anymore. Now, if you find that you've only go into your big toe and that you're not really stretching that little toe, move the knee over to the side so that you get that little toe to stretch as well. Don't be cruel. Now let's try the other side. So again, onto the edge, stretch your toes out and give them a little pull. Again, making sure that you feel them on both. And then you're just going to get the two of them and just move them up and down. And it's as if you're doing tiptoes. And bring them out, take them up higher, bring them back down to the floor. And you'll feel you're starting to work this calf muscle here. So again, from here, we'll start to work these thighs. So if you start to lift your leg and flexing your foot, trying to get your knee with your leg off the chair. Okay? So you're just lifting it up and off the chair. Try and keep the back straight, don't let yourself sink down. If you want, push yourself right against the back of the chair and lift it, hold onto the chair as you're lifting to make it a little bit harder. What you could do is think of that pelvic floor and pull them in at the same time and lift up. And this just makes it a little bit harder, but you don't have to worry about that if you can't. So this is just like walking, but we're not putting the pressure on the knees. And then bringing it down. Lovely. So, I've told you to grab hold of a sock, and so you need just anything. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be a sock, it can be a band, anything like that. It's just something that you can grab hold of. So we're going to work our feet so that it works that part of the foot. And what you're doing is you're trying to grab, not great on here, let me just move my mat out of the way, it might be easier on the floor. You're trying to grab hold of it and pull it in towards you. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. But you're trying to use your foot to pull your sock in. So again, you're pulling, pulling, pulling. And you're kind of doing that with your foot. So that you can pull that sock towards you. I don't think you can catch it on the video, I'm so sorry. But you are trying to just move the sock, if you can, sort of picking it up. Trying to lift things with your feet, and this is called cherry picking. And it's really good to help build flexibility and to help strengthen that bridge of our foot. It's just about lifting and picking up. See? Can't do it now. There we go. Let me fling that out of the way. Put that back down. Now, we've done most of the front of the body, but we have to kind of do the back of the body. So, the reason is that it's a chair. Now, if you can't stand, then you still sit down. You can get things, like I said, if you have a squidgy ball, so while you're seated, while we're doing standing, you can squeeze these. Again, if you've got the sock, roll the sock into a ball and give that a squeeze, and it'll still build strength through the fingers, through the arms, through the hands. So either of these are pretty good. If you've got if you can get a harder ball, so like a tennis ball or a golf ball, then again, using these to rub inside the hands helps to break down any cartilage, and helps to, especially if you're wheelchair bound and your hands are constantly like this, you'll find that the hands get quite tight in here. So rubbing them together will help to break up some of the little fibres that are in the hand, that make the hands kind of end up going into this position. The more we're using sort of phones, as we were using types, but again, the same thing if you're wheeling yourself, then your hands go into a certain position. So they're great for that, but they're also great for your foot. So it might be that you just can't, it's not that you can't walk, it's just it's a little harder, so you're bedridden or in a chair that you can't go very far. So you could put the ball underneath your foot and roll it round. Now always do this while you're sitting down so that you don't go flying off. But for anybody, this is great. If you're a person that stands, that works on your feet all day, just rub in one of these balls, something nice and hard. So the squidgy ball would be no good, but a tennis ball or a golf ball is brilliant. And you can just rub it along the foot and you'll feel it just massaging your feet, and it's such a lovely feeling, it's so nice. So that's something to do if you can't stand up. Grab something and do something, or like I said, just watch us at this moment. I'm just going to move these off. The balls flew off. And then you're going to stand up. We're still using our chair. I'm going to turn it sideways. So you're having the chair at, and holding onto the back of the chair. Now from here, we're just going to stretch a few more of the legs and work our stomach muscles. So from here, you're just taking the leg out to the side, and then you're taking it back. But you're keeping the body nice and straight, and you're not turning that foot out, it stays down. You're bringing it down, then if you push your hips in and bring your shoulders back and just stretch back, so that you'll feel this stretch through the front of the stomach and you'll feel it stretching through the back. Bring it back up. So you do the other side, you're taking the leg out to the side, you're bringing it back, you're kicking it behind, you're bringing it back, you're pushing the hips forward, stretching back. I'll turn this way so it might be easy for you to see. So out and back and push forward. Go out, go back and push forward. Let's try one more on each side. Out and back and push forward. And the last one. Out and back and push forward. Okay, so we're going to take it into a bit of a down dog to stretch the backs of our thighs. I'm going to hopefully not lose you. You're going to step your foot back and then you're bringing your shoulders down. Now if this is too painful for your arms, bring your elbows in, have your elbows rested, and just try to rest your hand, and then you're pushing your chest towards the floor to try and straighten the back. You may have to bend your knees to make it a little bit easier, so that you're trying to bring your head past and bring your head down. Now you'll feel this is a killer on the shoulder, so if you need to, don't stay in it too long. Come back up. Okay? So again, it can either be here, here, or you can take the hands out, stepping back a bit further and let the body drop down. That's whatever feels easier for you. But you'll feel it's a lovely stretch through the back, and it stretches everything from the heels all the way up through the bottom and all the way in. So let's bring ourselves back in. We're going to stretch our hamstrings, our calves and hamstrings now. So from here, you're going to step your left foot back and keep the heel on the floor from there. Then you're going to bend your front knee. So the front knee bends forward. Lift yourself up and just push in into that front leg. And you'll feel that calf. It doesn't have to be much of a straight up bend, but all of a sudden you'll feel it stretching. It's really nice. So we're going to step in and we're going to take our right foot back. Again, keeping it facing forward, sole of the foot down. Lift the shoulders up, pull them back, bend that front knee. And again, let's bring it back in. So we're going to do twice again. So we're taking it back, foot goes down, and again pushing in. So this knee's straight at the back at the moment, but we are going to bend it and take it a little bit further down. So close your eyes, think about where you're feeling this, because I'm going to get it to move in a minute. And then let's change sides. Again, having a feel. Where do I feel that? And bring it in. So we're going to take it down into this lower part of the leg here. We're going to step it back. It's the same thing we were doing before, keeping that heel down, bending that front leg, staying up nice and straight. But now this knee at the back, it might not bend very much, and that's okay. You're going to try and just bend that back knee a little while still pushing to that front knee, and then you'll feel it move right down into the ankle. Now, if you were to move your foot just slowly side to side, you'll feel the different ligaments, the different little movement through that foot. Now, if you were going outside and walking around on a normal thing, you'll find that the ground is uneven. And so doing this movement, it's called a runner stretch, but you don't necessarily have to run. But it gets your ankles ready for going on even ground so that they can move. They're used to moving backwards and forwards. If you were to just run on a treadmill, say, or walk on a treadmill, it's completely straight. It hasn't got any bumps and lumps in it. So if you were then to go outside and walk on normal thing, and you go from concrete to grass, spudgy things to an uneven surface, that tends to be when we do something to our ankle, pull or sprain our ankle. So if you can move and get them ligaments ready that they're used to, if they start to go over, the body is used to it and it gets adapted into the other side. So we'll try the other side. So foot down, shoulders back, bend the knee. Now bend that back leg, and I'll turn backwards so that you can kind of see what I'm doing with my foot. So bending, and it's just a moving slowly backwards and forwards. Now again, close your eyes, think about what's happening. And then we're going to step it back in again. Lovely. So, before I get you to sit down and finish off, I'm going to get you to do a mountain pose. Now, this is standing up, but you've got your chair here so that if you need to, it's there to support you. You can do it this way as well if you prefer, so that it's always in front of you. But I'm going to turn this way just so that you can see what I'm talking about. So, we're taking our feet in line with our hips. Now again, we're using that fist. We're putting the fist in between our knees, and that'll tell you how wide your feet are. Make sure that you're pushing through the outer edges of the foot, that the feet are not rolling in, that you're pushing them outwards. And if you think about your toes, lift your toes, and you'll start feeling the kneecap start to lift upwards, and you'll feel this muscle tighten up. So holding that, just try and place the toes down. Now imagine that you're squeezing your legs together, but they're not going to go anywhere, and you'll feel this muscle here start to tighten up. If you think about your bum muscle, squeeze your bum and then squeeze your backside, and then you'll feel this side muscle coming. Now this should be that your knees can still bend, they're not locked, they're not pushing back. If you think about your pelvic floor, so the things we were doing sitting down, you're going to imagine you're in a lift, you're going to imagine you're going to stop yourself from having a wee, and then as you breathe out, you're going to pull your belly muscle backwards. You're going to bring the shoulders back and down, and like I said, if you need to, you hold on. If you can, you're bringing your chin parallel to the floor, and if you can, close your eyes. If not, then look to the floor and find something on the floor to look at, but don't let the head drop. Keep it sort of lifted, but you're looking downwards. I turn sideways. Now, being able to close your eyes, you may find that you start to feel like you're kind of moving in this direction. That means that you need to start at the feet and tighten all them muscles back up again. And then you'll find that you're a lot stronger. But again, if you feel you have to, hold on to that chair. And breathing through the nose. Through the nose, out through the nose if you can, but out through the mouth if you have to. And then bring yourself down. So let's sit ourselves back down. Who have I got in? Hi, Shed. Hi, everybody. Hi, Marigold. So I'm just gonna talk about that breathing. I'm gonna come down here because it makes it a little bit easier for you to see. With the breathing. Oh, I'm spilling that all over me. With the breathing, it's all to do with breathing through the nose so that we're opening up the lungs and that the lungs are being protected as much as possible.